Great to have you with us this morning. In our Business Insight, the election's just a month away. Most of our attention is focused on the presidential election. But Cincinnati voters have an opportunity to vote on an important issue. It could have a major impact on how our city is governed from here on out. The Business Courier has endorsed Issue 4, calling for extended terms for Cincinnati City Council members from 2 to 4 years. The Courier believes the move will result in more attention to long-term issues, more experienced council members, more continuity, less grandstanding, and less fundraising. The issue has been spearheaded by Council Member Lori Quinlivan, and she joins us now to talk about Issue 4. Lori, it's good to see you again.
You too, Brian.
We worked together in television news many years ago.
Yes, we did.
So how is working on City Council, how is it different or the same as being an investigative reporter?
Well, for me, in a lot of ways, the training as an investigative reporter is very similar because we would dive into issues, complex issues that we really maybe didn't know about before, and learn as much as we could, make decisions that were in the public interest, and then communicate it to people. So a lot of what we do on council is the same with whatever issue comes up. So I think my training as an investigative reporter serves me well. And it's one of the reasons that I got so interested in this issue.
Well, Issue 4, you know, you've seen the reasons why the Business Courier is supporting this.
Yeah.
But the electorate could look at you and say, well, you just want a 4-year term instead of a 2-year term. Does this really make sense for the city of Cincinnati?
It makes so much sense, and that's why our group is called Citizens for Common Sense. And here's why. First of all, we can triple our productivity. Now, we work for citizens, and the question for citizens is, do you want us working for 1 year and then spending 1 year on our re-election campaigns? Or do you want us to work for 3 years at a time on civic issues that will benefit the city and spend 1 year on our re-election? So we're not really asking for more time. We left the term limit in place, the 8-year term limit. It's just that you would be electing us for 2 4-year terms instead of 4 2-year terms.
And this is not uncommon. It's done at many different levels of government. It seems that 4 years gives a politician an opportunity to really emerge as a government leader and do the work that's necessary.
You have to learn, first of all. When you're first elected, there's a big learning curve in a city as complicated as ours is. And then you have to build relationships with people to make things happen. So what I see happening is a lot of the very complex issues that are going to take longer than a 2-year election cycle, like mergers and consolidations with other governments, those issues don't get addressed because people are like, well, I got to work on my re-election. So we need to give council members time to do those more important things that we are not doing right now. And the budget is certainly in that.
All right, I'm curious now, if this is passed, will people who are on council automatically get a 4-year term?
No, of course not. So we run next year anyway. All of council is up. So all of council will be up, and all the new candidates who want to run will be running. The difference would be whoever you elect, you would be electing them to a 4-year term.
If Issue 4 passes this year.
If Issue 4 passes. So I like this idea for another reason too. We'll be electing a new mayor next year, whoever it is. And the new mayor would then have a team of people, and they would know that, you know what, we're in this together for 4 years. We better make things happen for citizens. So it would be much more collaborative instead of what happens now with, you know, every 2 years there could be a big shakeup of new people, and, you know, it's hard to get everyone working together, and this would help that.
What are you hearing from voters on this?
I hear great things. I mean, it is really common sense. I mean, look, every other city in Ohio, every major city already does this. So Toledo, Columbus, Cleveland, every city we compete with in the region. So Pittsburgh, Indy, St. Louis, Louisville, Atlanta, Denver, they're all on 4-year terms. We're really behind the curve.
Well, Cincinnati does react a little slow sometimes, but in a very thoughtful way.
It's the Mark Twain thing. Yes.
What about the grandstanding? One of the issues is there'll be less grandstanding. Do you think that really will happen?
Absolutely, because when that really happens is during the election year.
Yeah.
So here's what I noticed. I was elected in 2009. In 2010, we are doing our work, even though it was a divided council politically, but we're still accomplishing things for citizens. 2011 rolls around, that's the election year. It's like hitting a brick wall. Everybody stops collaborating and starts running their campaign. And I was actually shocked. And I started asking questions. Is this what it's like every other year? And the answer was yes.
Don't need that.
We need to change that. And the good thing is we can change that. And citizens, I believe, are going to do it.
All right, here's some information you need. For more information on Issue 4, visit CommonSenseCincinnati.com. Lori, thank you for being with us. Good luck with the initiative.
Thank you, Brian.